she makes like video content of old games, like
I'm sorry,
Juggernaut.
baby.
Alright, if you're gonna have these conversations, can you please let me know?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're being insanely loud.
I am. I'm sorry. I was too loud, guys.
I gotta feel in trouble.
I'm sorry. My wife wants to go to sleep. I'm sorry, guys.
And sadly, that's been the case for like a year and a half, right? Most of the AAA games are just not that interesting. Like, what else has happened in the last week besides Resident Evil, okay? Pokemon re-released Fire Red and Leaf Green. Okay, if you're a fan of Pokemon, that's a big deal because you haven't been able to play the first Pokemon game on modern consoles in a very long time. But is it a huge deal? No. Okay? Pokemon's releasing Pokopia today. You know, the game that at first looked like Animal Crossing, but now that we've seen more of it, it's basically Dragon Quest Builders 2, because it's actually made by the people who made Dragon Quest Builders 2. Big deal. Marathon came out today. You know, the extraction shooter made by Bungie that plays exactly like other extraction shooters, except that it's actually tougher to play solo because they made mobs come after you no matter what, even when you're down. So therefore, you need to play it with a team, and it's even more limited than it is to play, say, Arc Raiders. Do you see my point? This is what else is going on in gaming. So there's not that much happening that's very exciting. You know what I'm saying? So what we will do is next week, all right, we're going to look into some good stuff. We're going to look into indie games, and we may even look into newer games. For example, today, Slay the Spire 2 actually released, okay? And maybe next week we'll look into that, or maybe we'll play some other games. I'm not sure. We actually looked into 25 different indie games when we did the indie stream Tuesday night, and man, people were excited to see me try different stuff. But again, that's the core audience. This is not going to bring in tons of new viewers to watch indie games. So I get that, but that's honestly, I think, the path of the future. There was a time when I played every single big AAA release, whether good or bad, and I played them all to completion and I reviewed them. But sadly, the days of that being, you know, a feasible way to run an internet content creation business, it's long done. You know, people aren't going to stick around after one stream of a bad game. It's that simple. People don't want to see crap anymore. I get that. Your time is valuable, and so is mine. So that's why this year, what we're doing is testing the waters with various games. If they work, great. If they don't, dump it and move on. And that's my mentality moving forward. So we shall see what happens when we play more games next week and we bring in new ones to the rotation. But as of today, I'm at least excited to see the end of Resident Evil. I hope that you are too, okay? What I'd like to do today, being here all week and watching the playthrough, and for those who are still watching it, thank you. Like I said, I'm noticing on the first few videos, they're all getting hundreds of views a day. It's not like, oh, they were out on Friday of last week and now they're dead. No, they're still increasing in viewership and attention, which is excellent. This is probably going to end up being my biggest playthrough in a while. I mean, let's be honest here. Okay, what else is really coming out? Not much. For a while in the AAA range, right? Like seriously, like not much in the AAA range will be releasing for a bit. I am interested in trying out, you know, Black Desert, which is Crimson Desert, right? Which is coming out in just a couple weeks. That could be a big one. Okay, and there are bigger games coming out, but let's see what happens in regards to the releases that are coming out in the you know, close future, and see how it goes. I am hoping that we will find something else that people will be interested in, like Resident Evil, but maybe not. Again, we're in the midst of a time of games where there aren't big AAA releases that are hyped and good. The ones that come out are just lackluster, like Marathon from Bungie. You would think, oh, Bungie, this is going to be a huge game. Did you know right now there's more people playing Slay the Spire 2 than Marathon? Not kidding. There's more people right now playing Resident Evil Requiem than Marathon. Not kidding. And Marathon came out today. So the indie game is beating Marathon. The game that came out a week ago is beating Marathon. This is my point about these AAA releases. They just don't do it anymore. And that's why it's refreshing to get a game like Resident Evil Requiem that actually is good, and that it seems like Capcom still knows what they're doing and cares about what they're putting out rather than trying to make a formula to print money. But, for example, taking a look here, what else is coming out for this month? Well, we've got John Carpenter's Toxic Commando on the 12th, but I don't know if I'm playing it, and I don't even know what it is. We have to look into it. We've got the Alex DLC character would bring new eyes to the channel past Resident Evil, and the answer is I don't know. Maybe Crimson Desert, that'd be nice, but I don't know if it will. I don't even know if I'm going to like the game. Seems like it is going to be a unique experience, very different from the kind of game that maybe we usually play. So it could be pretty interesting. Okay. So we'll see. And again, we'll talk about that next week. We're going to definitely get some new games in the rotation. That'll probably be indies. And then after that, we'll see where things go. Hopefully Crimson Desert is good. I'm hoping for the best, for sure. The thing is, next week, we're going to go back to the games that we had been playing, and now they sat on the shelf for a bit. So we're going to finish Hollow Knight. We're going to continue with Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Okay, those are two definite games that I'm playing next week. What's a question mark right now is what should I do about Pokemon Pocopia? Because originally I was going to play it, okay? And then I decided not to play it because I watched the trailer and it looked like it was a game designed for small children and nothing that would appeal to the audience. Then the reviewers came out and said, oh, it's a 9 out of 10. What game did you review? If you take a look at the trailer, nothing there looks very good, right? Seriously, I'm lost. So would you guys like to see me play that? Would you like to see me maybe do Pokemon Leaf Green or Fire Red? Because originally we were going to do Pocopia, but if we're skipping it, maybe then we should play the classic Pokemons. I haven't played the first Pokemon game since the 1990s, and apparently Fire Red and Leaf Green are the Game Boy Advance remakes with better graphics, better sound, full color, and more Pokemon. Like, they have more Pokemon in the game than the original did. So maybe we could do that, okay? I don't know. The way I see it, we could try ice cream, especially as we're heading into the summertime when it gets warmer. Maybe ice cream would be more appropriate. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you like to see me try ice cream? Again, that would have to be a nighttime one where I order it and it gets delivered like at the end of the late stream. I have it as like a dessert. It's possible. We could do that. This person says, the website dresses up a very basic baking ingredient. Agar is lower in the chain of thickener and gum. So basically they're saying they are trying to like pass off cheap stuff as like gourmet, and it's not. And it's pathetic that they're doing that, is basically what this person is saying. So I wouldn't know. I'm not a candy expert, so I don't know if that website is just way overpricing candies or not. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're not. I don't know. Okay. All right. We have any more suggestions? So far we got two like dessert suggestions. One was those candies. One was nothing bunk cakes. And then maybe ice cream, right? The bunk cakes probably would be the more feasible of them because you think of it this way. It won't be overly expensive. It'll be okay, like decently expensive, but not overly expensive. Also, it won't melt like ice cream would. So the bunk cakes I could order and then have a few on stream and save them and eat them over the week with my wife rather than, the ice cream has to be eaten immediately. A little bit more feasible. Acid Rain says, Taco Bell has a chicken bacon ranch chalupa. Yeah, because when I think Mexican food, the first two ingredients I think of are bacon and ranch dressing. That's exactly what I think of when I want to run for the border, right?